My name is Chris Reed, and I'm chair of the Department of Film Video at Stevenson University and an occasional film critic on the Midday with Dan Roderick show on WYPR. And in fact, I got the idea for this show from a November broadcast we did where we were talking about filmmakers who shoot on digital versus film, and began to wonder, how many of us can really tell the difference? So our journey begins in 1895 with the Lumiere brothers in France, and this is the first camera, the cinematograph. And it's a chemical process. You've got a strip of kind of plasticized film, celluloid film, and the material on which the images are captured is the same as what it's projected on, and it looks like this ultimately, whether it's 8mm, 16mm, 35mm, or even 65mm. And the idea is you have a base side and an emulsion side, and the emulsion reacts to light when it's moving through the camera at 24 frames per second. And that's a little bit different, obviously, than video, which was invented in the 40s and 50s. Television was invented earlier. And it was an electrical process by which frames of moving images were recorded and stored initially on magnetic tape. So this is the way a film camera works. Light passes through the lens, goes through the aperture of the camera, hits that emulsion, and then there's a chemical reaction that fixes the image to the film. The result is this strip of kind of small photographs on this plasticized roll. You can pull it up, look at it, hold it up to light. It's a fairly robust technology that's lasted since the 1890s, and for a long time it was really the best way to capture images in the most artful fashion. Now the way a digital camera works is the same way in some ways. You have light that goes through the camera, goes through the aperture, but then, these days, it hits a digital sensor, a computer chip if you will, and that sensor records the image in picture elements or pixels, which look kind of like this. And the quality of the digital image is determined by the number of pixels in horizontal and vertical lines. Standard sensors are usually RGB, red, green, blue. And the process of image capture has now moved beyond the electrical to the digital ones and zeros. Now, despite the adoption in the 80s and 90s of video for home use, it wasn't until the 2000s that a major feature film was shot and released on video, and it was this one, Star Wars Episode II, Attack of the Clones, which, well, didn't look very good, nor did its successors, but the technology started to evolve, and by 2008, this film, Slumdog Millionaire, which was shot 80% digitally, won the Oscar for Best Cinematography, which was a milestone. It kind of announced that digital cinema was here to stay. Now here we are in 2013. By the end of this year, Hollywood's going to stop making 35mm prints. By the end of 2015, they're going to stop doing it for the international market. But film is still here. People are shooting on film, even if it's going to be distributed digitally. Can you tell the difference? So here's the 2013 winner for Best Foreign Film Oscar, Amour. It's a nice intimate drama. It's kind of a love poem to cinema. What do you think, digital or film? Digital. It was shot on a camera called the Arri Alexa. It's hard to tell. How about this? Iron Man 2, filled with special effects, digital extravaganza. What do you think, digital or film? Film. It was shot on film. So is Iron Man, but Iron Man 3 is going to be shot digitally. Next up, we have Flight, a film spoofed in the Oscar broadcast by Seth MacFarlane. It's about a pilot with many addiction difficulties. What do you think, film, digital? It was shot digitally on a camera called the Arri Alexa. Now Argo, the winner for Best Picture, what do you think? It was actually shot film and digital, which is not uncommon. And the question is, can you, watching the film, tell the difference, like which shots are which? I don't think so. How about The Avengers from this past summer, Joss Whedon's, again, digital extravaganza in many ways. Digital and film. And by the way, if a movie is shot on film, it's often still edited digitally, so it's hard to tell the capture format sometimes. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, a film filled with digital creatures and not a bad performance by James Franco. What do you think? Film or digital? Film, indeed, although it obviously has many digital special effects. Zero Dark 30, second time this film has been featured in a presentation this evening. For a while, it was on track to win Best Picture until that whole torture thing got in the way. What do you think, film or digital? It was shot digitally on a camera, the Arri Alexa, same camera as Skyfall and Flight. Now, everybody's favorite, Twilight Breaking Dawn, right? Everybody loves the movie. Part 2, sorry, what do you think, film or digital? Sorry? Nobody cares. It was shot on film. Now this is one of my favorites of the last couple of years, Winter's Bone with Jennifer Lawrence, shot by a woman, Deborah Granick, who really did a wonderful job with this film. It's both intimate and then it has these vast nature sequences. What do you think? They were shot digital on the Red camera. Finally, we'll end with this new Superman film by Zack Snyder, who gave us 300 and Watchmen. What do you think? Film. Zack Snyder, like Quentin Tarantino, Steven Spielberg, and Christopher Nolan of the Batman films, really prefers to shoot on film and thinks that it's a better format. But really, how many of us can tell the difference these days? So next time you're watching a film, think about how you thought it was shot. Thank you very much.